How to never get angry or bothered by anyone. Stoicism. Have you ever found yourself overwhelmed with anger because of something someone said or did? Perhaps a passing comment, a rude gesture, or even a minor inconvenience set off a chain reaction of frustration that seemed impossible to stop. In the chaos of today's world, where stress levels are sky high and we're bombarded with challenges from every direction, staying calm can feel like an uphill battle. But what if I told you there's a way to stay unshaken no matter what life throws your way? What if you could master your emotions so completely that no one could ever rob you of your peace again? The ancient philosophy of Stoicism holds the key. It's not just a relic of the past, it's a practical guide for modern life, offering timeless strategies to navigate even the most difficult situations. Great minds like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca lived through hardship and turmoil, yet they found a way to remain calm, composed, and unbothered. In today's video on Stoic in Your Life, we'll uncover the secrets of this transformative philosophy, breaking down how you can apply it to your everyday life to rise above anger and irritation. What I'm about to share isn't just abstract philosophy, it's a collection of practical, proven methods you can start using right now. Each insight has the power to shift your mindset and bring an immediate sense of calm. So, stay with me until the very end, because even one small change in how you approach your emotions could transform the way you live. Let's get started. Number 1. Embrace willingness. Mastering your emotions and freeing yourself from anger begins with embracing willingness, a core principle of Stoic philosophy that encourages aligning with reality rather than resisting it. Acceptance, as the Stoics teach, is not passive resignation but an active engagement with life as it unfolds. Marcus Aurelius captured this beautifully in Meditations. Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people fate brings you together with. This mindset helps you see life as it is, working with circumstances instead of battling them, ultimately cultivating inner peace and emotional freedom. Consider the minor frustrations of daily life: washing dishes, being stuck in traffic, or waiting in a long line. These situations often cause irritation because we resist them, wishing for a different reality. Yet, as Epictetus advises in Discourses, do not seek to have events happen as you want them to, but instead want them to happen as they do, and your life will go well. By shifting your perspective, even mundane tasks can become opportunities for mindfulness or personal growth. Washing dishes transforms into a chance to focus on the present moment, while a traffic jam offers time to enjoy a podcast or reflect on your day. With this approach, you turn everyday annoyances into moments of peace and reflection. This principle also applies to life's larger challenges such as a missed promotion or personal setback. It's natural to feel frustrated or defeated, but Stoicism teaches that resistance amplifies suffering. By reframing setbacks as opportunities to learn and grow, you can embrace them as valuable lessons. A failure, for example, can be seen as a chance to improve skills, rethink your strategy, or build resilience. In this way, willingness helps you transform even the most difficult situations into stepping stones for wisdom and strength. At its heart, willingness also requires a broader life perspective, one that values purpose over fleeting gratification. When your actions are tied to a higher goal, whether it's contributing to your field, supporting loved ones, or personal growth, every task becomes meaningful. For instance, a stressful deadline may feel overwhelming when viewed in isolation, but if connected to a larger mission, it becomes fulfilling. This shift in perspective reduces frustration and fosters a deeper sense of satisfaction, helping you navigate life with clarity and purpose. Cultivating willingness is not an instant transformation but a practice developed over time. Start with small moments. When you feel frustration rising, whether in traffic or during a tough conversation, pause and reframe the situation. Instead of letting anger take over, treat it as an opportunity to practice patience or gratitude. Over time, this mental habit becomes second nature, allowing you to approach life's unpredictability with grace and calm. As Seneca wisely said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." Every challenge, big or small, is a chance to grow stronger and wiser. Modern Stoicism offers timeless tools for today's fast-paced and often chaotic world, reminding us that peace doesn't come from controlling external events, but from mastering our internal reactions. By embracing willingness, you create a life of freedom, where anger and resistance lose their grip. Instead of being consumed by the turbulence of the outside world, you remain grounded and focused, finding serenity in the face of life's uncertainties. Integrating this mindset into your daily life may require effort, but the rewards are profound. You'll find yourself less troubled by life's difficulties and more attuned to moments of joy and fulfillment. Modern Stoicism provides a practical framework for living with courage, purpose, and inner calm. By embracing willingness, you step into a life of resilience and freedom, aligned with life's natural flow and untouched by unnecessary frustration. Number 2, stop judging others. Stop judging others. It's a simple concept, yet profoundly challenging, as judgment is often the spark that ignites our anger and frustration. Think about it. When someone behaves in a way that doesn't align with your expectations, you might rush to label them inconsiderate, lazy, or rude. This impulse to judge doesn't just burden the other person, it weighs you down more than anyone else. As Epictetus wisely observed, it is not events themselves that disturb people, but their judgments about those events. This Stoic truth holds the key to unlocking emotional freedom. Imagine someone cuts you off in traffic. Your gut reaction might be, "What a reckless, selfish driver." But consider this. Could they be rushing to the hospital? Or did they simply misjudge the situation? When you reframe your perspective, the anger dissolves, and you remain composed. This is one of the most profound Stoic secrets, the ability to detach your peace from others' actions by managing your own interpretations. The same principle applies in your relationships with colleagues, friends, or family. Suppose a coworker misses another deadline, and you instantly label them as irresponsible. But what if they are quietly struggling with personal issues or an overwhelming workload? Shifting your mindset to seek understanding rather than blame changes everything. As humans, we are prone to see the world through the lens of our own biases, assuming we have the full picture. Stoicism invites us to question these assumptions. The truth is, our judgments are often incomplete, even inaccurate, and they breed unnecessary conflict. By challenging our own conclusions, we create space for empathy and shield ourselves from emotional turmoil. Let me share a story to illustrate. A man on a train was growing increasingly frustrated by the behavior of a father sitting nearby. The children were running wild, yelling and disturbing other passengers, while the father stared blankly out the window. Unable to contain himself, the man snapped, "Why don't you control your kids?" The father turned to him with tears in his eyes and said, "I'm sorry. We just came from the hospital where their mother passed away, and I don't know how to handle it." Suddenly, the man's irritation melted away, replaced by regret and compassion. The father hadn't changed, the children hadn't changed, but the man's judgment had. What if you approached every situation with this openness? What if, instead of rushing to conclusions, you paused and asked, "What else might be going on here?" This shift requires practice, but it's transformative. Start by observing your thoughts throughout the day. How often do you judge others without knowing the full story? The next time you catch yourself, pause and ask, "Is this judgment necessary? Is it fair?" You might be surprised how often the answer is no. Try reframing your initial reaction to include alternative possibilities. Instead of thinking, "That person is rude," you might consider, "Maybe they're having a tough day." Instead of assuming someone is lazy, you might think, "Perhaps they're overwhelmed." This small mental adjustment has a ripple effect. It softens your perspective, builds emotional resilience, and fosters deeper connections with those around you. Letting go of judgment doesn't mean accepting harmful behavior. It doesn't mean you should excuse mistreatment or lower your standards. It means refusing to let the actions of others dictate your emotions. Marcus Aurelius captured this wisdom perfectly. You always have the option of having no opinion. There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you can't control. Think about that for a moment. You have the power to decide how you interpret every situation. You can choose peace over anger, understanding over frustration. By seeing others' actions as reflections of their circumstances rather than definitive statements about their character, you free yourself from the toxic cycle of negativity. The lesson here is simple but profound. When you stop judging others, you take control of your inner world. This is not about excusing bad behavior. It's about preserving your peace. Judgment fuels anger, but understanding and curiosity extinguish it. So, the next time someone irritates you, ask yourself, am I seeing the full picture? Challenge your assumptions. Exercise empathy. Because the greatest of Stoic secrets isn't in controlling the world, it's in mastering yourself. Number 3, let go of control. One of the most profound teachings of Stoicism, and a cornerstone of modern Stoicism, is the ability to let go of control over external events. The desire to control everything around us often leads to frustration and unhappiness. This timeless insight reminds us to focus our energy on mastering our thoughts and emotions rather than being consumed by circumstances beyond our influence. In essence, it's about reclaiming the inner fortress of your mind and directing your efforts where they matter most. Picture a scenario that many of us encounter daily. You're stuck in traffic, running late for an important meeting. It's easy to fall into the trap of anger and frustration, blaming city planning, other drivers, or even your bad luck. Yet none of these things are within your control. What is? Your response. Instead of giving in to negativity, you could channel this time into something constructive. Reviewing your talking points, practicing deep breathing, or simply listening to an inspiring podcast. By relinquishing the urge to control external factors like traffic, you shield your peace of mind and redirect your energy toward meaningful action. Seneca once remarked, "He suffers more than necessary, who suffers before it is necessary." In moments like these, the choice to suffer is yours to reject. This principle applies equally to professional challenges. Imagine your boss makes a decision you find irrational or counterproductive. While you cannot control their behavior, you hold the reins over your response. You can waste energy on frustration and gossip, or you can adjust your approach, offering constructive feedback or adapting to the new situation. By focusing on your actions rather than their choices, you free yourself from emotional turmoil and transform obstacles into opportunities for personal growth. This mindset not only cultivates resilience, but also helps you maintain professionalism and inner peace in a chaotic work environment. To truly embody this wisdom, the Stoics advocated the practice of premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. This involves mentally preparing for potential challenges by visualizing things that could go wrong, missing a flight, receiving criticism, or losing a deal. By rehearsing your emotional response to such scenarios, you train your mind to accept unpredictability with calmness and resolve. Think of it as emotional immunity, just as a vaccine prepares your body for disease. This exercise strengthens your spirit against life's inevitable adversities. Epictetus wisely noted, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Letting go of control is not an act of surrender, but a redirection of effort toward what truly matters. By focusing on your inner world, your thoughts, emotions, and choices, you become less vulnerable to the chaos of the external world. In today's fast-paced, interconnected society, this practice is more relevant than ever. Modern Stoicism teaches us that by mastering our internal state, we gain the ability to face challenges with grace and clarity. Whether it's a traffic jam, a workplace conflict, or an unforeseen setback, the key is to preserve your serenity by refusing to wrestle with the uncontrollable. Instead, direct your energy toward what is entirely yours to command: your character, your actions, and your perspective. By integrating this principle into your daily life, you create a foundation for enduring peace. Life's unpredictability no longer feels like a storm to be weathered, but rather a flow to be navigated with wisdom and calm. This shift not only empowers you to handle adversity with resilience, but also inspires those around you to adopt the same perspective. As you let go of the need to control what lies beyond your reach, you will find freedom, clarity, and strength in abundance. In this lies the ultimate power of modern Stoicism, the art of focusing on what truly matters while embracing life's uncertainty with unwavering grace. Have you explored the wisdom of Stoic in your life before? If so, comment below with, "I've watched content from this channel." If you're new here, we'd love to have you join us. Comment, "I'm new," and we'll follow along regularly. Let's dive deeper into how Stoic principles can transform the way we navigate life's challenges. Number 4. Focus on the present. A vital step in mastering your emotions and achieving peace of mind is to focus on the present, a foundational principle of Stoic philosophy. The past is unchangeable, and the future remains uncertain, leaving the present moment as the only reality you truly possess. Marcus Aurelius captured this wisdom succinctly in Meditations. Confine yourself to the present. This insight serves as a reminder that clarity, purpose, and resilience come from embracing the here and now, rather than being consumed by regret for the past or anxiety about the future. In the context of modern Stoicism, learning to focus on the present equips you with the tools to navigate life with greater calm and confidence. Dwelling on past mistakes or worrying excessively about the future often creates unnecessary stress. For example, replaying a failed presentation in your mind not only accomplishes nothing, but also erodes your confidence and distracts you from moving forward. Similarly, obsessing over future uncertainties, such as whether a project will succeed or whether others will judge you, drains your energy, leaving you less capable of taking effective action. As Seneca wisely noted, true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. By grounding yourself in the present, you free yourself from these mental burdens, allowing your energy to be fully directed where it matters most, here and now. Mindfulness, the practice of being fully engaged in the current moment, is one of the most effective ways to cultivate this focus. By consciously observing your thoughts, surroundings, and sensations, you anchor yourself in the present, freeing your mind from distractions. Simple exercises can help. While drinking coffee, for instance, focus on its aroma, warmth, and taste, rather than scrolling through your phone or planning your day. Similarly, take a few minutes each day to notice your breathing, observe its rhythm and depth without judgment. These seemingly small practices of presence can accumulate into a profound sense of calm and control over time, providing a steady foundation for your emotional well-being. This principle is also transformative when applied to productivity and problem-solving. Facing a large or daunting task often leads to procrastination or feelings of overwhelm. Instead of fixating on the enormity of the entire project or its potential outcomes, break it into manageable steps and focus on completing one task at a time. This approach not only increases efficiency, but also reduces stress by channeling your attention to what you can control at the moment. As Epictetus advised, don't let the force of an impression when it first hits you knock you off your feet. Say to it, "Hold on a moment. Let me see who you are and what you represent." By attending to each step with intention, you make consistent progress and gain confidence in your ability to meet challenges head-on. Living in the present is not about ignoring the past or neglecting to plan for the future, but about finding balance and clarity. Reflecting on past experiences can be valuable when used constructively, and setting goals for the future is essential for growth. However, these activities should not overshadow your engagement with the present moment. By practicing this principle, you reclaim your power over your thoughts and emotions. You learn to let go of regrets that no longer serve you and to set aside fears that may never materialize, freeing yourself to act with purpose and precision. Focusing on the present is more than a philosophical ideal. It is a practical tool for navigating the demands of modern life. In a world filled with constant distractions and pressures, this practice allows you to maintain clarity, manage stress, and live with greater intention. Modern Stoicism emphasizes the importance of this mindset, not just as a way to stay calm, but as a path to living a more fulfilling life. By mastering the art of presence, you liberate yourself from anger, frustration, and the mental clutter that so often clouds judgment. You gain the ability to approach life's challenges with grace, channeling your energy into what truly matters. In doing so, you create a life of clarity and purpose, rooted firmly in the power of now. Number 5. Take responsibility for your feelings. Take responsibility for your feelings. It's one of the most liberating truths of Stoicism and a cornerstone of emotional resilience. You see, your emotions are not caused by what happens to you, but by how you choose to interpret and react to events. Marcus Aurelius captured this beautifully. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Let that sink in for a moment. Think about a time when someone unfairly criticized you. Maybe it was a coworker belittling your work, or a friend making an offhand comment that stung. Your immediate reaction might have been anger, defensiveness, or even self-doubt. But pause for a moment and ask yourself, was it their words that caused the pain? Or was it your decision to let their words have power over you? Stoicism teaches that this choice is entirely yours, and it's one of the great Stoic secrets to remaining unbothered by others. To master this principle, you need self-awareness, and that begins with a simple but powerful habit: the pause and reflect technique. Imagine you're in a heated argument and someone throws a harsh accusation your way. Instead of firing back, take a deep breath and ask yourself, is this worth my peace? Can I control what they've said or only my response? That pause creates a buffer, a moment of clarity, where you can choose calmness over chaos. It might feel unnatural at first, but over time, it becomes second nature. Let me tell you a modern story to bring this to life. A manager at a busy tech firm, known for his temper, decided to try this technique. One day, a team member accused him of favoritism during a heated meeting. His instinct was to lash out, but instead he paused, reflected, and calmly replied, "That's an interesting perspective. Let's discuss it after the meeting." Later, they talked it through, and the issue resolved amicably. That pause not only saved him from escalating the conflict, but also strengthened his team's trust in him. What could you achieve if you approached life's provocations with that level of control? Another transformative practice is journaling. Each evening, jot down moments from the day when you felt upset, frustrated, or angry. Reflect on what triggered those emotions and consider how you could have reacted differently. Over time, this habit reveals patterns in your responses and helps you build emotional discipline. For example, you might notice that you often feel irritable when people interrupt you. Once you recognize this, you can prepare yourself to respond calmly when it happens again. Journaling isn't just about self-critique, it's about celebrating your progress too. Did you stay composed during a difficult conversation? Write that down and reflect on how far you've come. It's also crucial to understand that taking responsibility for your feelings doesn't mean suppressing them. Suppression leads to bottled-up emotions that eventually explode. Instead, Stoicism encourages healthy acknowledgement and management of emotions. Let's say you feel hurt by a close friend's actions. Rather than ignoring the pain or lashing out, calmly express how you feel. Something like, "When you canceled our plans last minute, it made me feel unimportant." This approach not only diffuses tension but also strengthens your relationships by fostering open communication. How many conflicts in your life could be avoided by choosing this path? Taking responsibility for your emotions ultimately makes you resilient. Life is unpredictable and people will act in ways you can't control. But when you own your feelings, you reclaim your power. You're no longer at the mercy of someone's bad mood, rude comment, or thoughtless behavior. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you always have the option of having no opinion. This doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you choose not to be ruled by what you can't control. By internalizing this mindset, you become the master of your emotions and protect your peace of mind. So the next time you feel anger bubbling up, ask yourself, am I reacting to the situation or to my interpretation of it? Embrace the pause, journal your thoughts, and communicate with clarity. These practices are simple yet profound Stoic secrets that can transform the way you navigate life, ensuring that no one and nothing can rob you of your inner peace. Number 6. Practice non-reaction. In the chaos of modern life, practicing non-reaction stands out as one of the most effective tools for maintaining peace and resilience. Stoicism teaches us that we are never obligated to respond to every provocation, and it is through restraint that we find true strength. Epictetus encapsulated this wisdom when he said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This principle, central to both ancient Stoicism and modern Stoicism, is not about passivity, but about exercising thoughtful control over our responses, ensuring they align with our values rather than being driven by fleeting emotions. Non-reaction is a deliberate choice to prioritize clarity and composure over impulsive retaliation. Consider a situation where a colleague criticizes you openly during a meeting. The immediate instinct might be to defend yourself or lash out, but such reactions often escalate the conflict, making you appear less composed and less in control. Instead, Stoicism urges you to pause and reflect before responding. For instance, you might calmly thank the colleague for their feedback and choose to address the matter privately at a later time. This approach not only preserves your dignity, but also signals professionalism and emotional maturity. Marcus Aurelius's advice, "You always have the option of having no opinion," further reminds us that we can consciously choose not to give power to provocations, thereby protecting our peace and focus. Mastering non-reaction requires cultivating self-control, which is easier said than done in a world that often demands instant responses. One simple yet profound technique is to practice delaying your response. Imagine receiving a harsh email or overhearing an offensive remark. Instead of reacting immediately, take a pause, whether it's a few minutes or even an hour. Use this time to let emotions settle and reassess the situation from a rational perspective. More often than not, you'll find that your initial urge to retaliate fades, and a more measured, constructive response emerges. This act of pausing is like stepping back from a painting to see the bigger picture, enabling you to respond with intention rather than regret. Non-reaction also requires discerning the significance or lack thereof of provocations. Many insults or slights hold no real weight beyond what we assign them. When faced with a stranger's rude behavior, for example, remind yourself that their actions reflect their state of mind, not your worth. As Seneca wisely said, "If you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your own judgment of them." By choosing to disengage, you take control of your narrative and refuse to let another's negativity invade your mental space. This ability to detach from trivial irritations is a hallmark of modern Stoicism, offering a practical approach to everyday conflicts in our fast-paced lives. The transformative power of non-reaction becomes particularly evident in conflicts. Picture a heated argument where one party suddenly stops engaging with hostility. The tension often dissipates, as conflict requires active participation from both sides. When you choose silence or a thoughtful, measured response, you effectively disarm the other person and diffuse the situation. This principle can also extend to social media or online debates, where refraining from engagement in fruitless arguments often leaves you feeling more empowered and less drained. By practicing non-reaction, you become the master of your energy, conserving it for pursuits that truly matter. It's essential to understand that non-reaction is not about avoiding responsibility or running from problems. Rather, it's about consciously deciding where your energy is best spent. Responding with intention, rather than emotion, ensures that your actions are aligned with your long-term values and goals. This shift empowers you to navigate provocations with grace and composure, transforming potential conflicts into opportunities for growth. As you practice this skill, you'll find yourself less swayed by external chaos and more grounded in your inner calm. Non-reaction is an act of liberation. It frees you from the grip of emotional impulses, allowing you to maintain control over your actions and preserve your peace of mind. In today's hyper-connected and often emotionally charged world, the ability to pause, reflect, and choose your response is invaluable. By mastering non-reaction, you not only strengthen your own mental resilience, but also inspire those around you to approach life's challenges with similar grace. This, in essence, is the power of modern Stoicism, equipping us with timeless tools to rise above provocations and focus on what truly matters in life. What's one moment when you stayed calm instead of reacting? Was it a rude comment from a coworker or someone cutting in line? Share your answer in the comments below. And don't forget to watch until the end of this video. We've saved the 3 most surprising and powerful Stoic insights for last. Trust me, you won't want to miss them. Number 7. Find joy in selflessness. One of the most profound ways to cultivate inner peace and free yourself from anger is by embracing selflessness, a concept deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy. Selflessness, as the Stoics teach, is not about neglecting your own needs, but about understanding the mutual benefits of kindness. Marcus Aurelius beautifully expressed this in Meditations. When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. This mindset encourages us to approach life with gratitude and a spirit of giving, recognizing that acts of kindness nurture not only the recipient but also the giver. In the context of modern Stoicism, practicing selflessness is a way to dissolve anger and resentment while fostering a deeper sense of connection and purpose. Forgiveness stands as one of the most impactful expressions of selflessness. Anger and resentment often feel justified, yet they weigh us down emotionally, robbing us of peace. For example, if a family member frequently criticizes you, the natural reaction might be to harbor resentment. However, understanding that their negativity often stems from their own struggles enables you to let go of your anger. As Seneca wisely observed, "He who is injured ought not to return the injury, for on no account must we imitate the wrongdoer." Forgiveness, therefore, is not about excusing harmful actions, but about liberating yourself from the toxic grip of resentment, allowing you to move forward unburdened and more at peace. Acts of kindness, even in small doses, are another powerful way to practice selflessness and foster tranquility. Imagine assisting a colleague who is overwhelmed by deadlines or offering a kind word to a stranger. While these actions might not provide immediate benefits to you, they cultivate a sense of purpose and connection that enhances your well-being. Modern research aligns with ancient Stoic wisdom, showing that altruism boosts happiness and reduces stress. Seneca also noted the universal potential for kindness. Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. By shifting your focus from self-interest to helping others, you not only create a ripple effect of positivity, but also reinforce your own mental resilience and contentment. Selflessness can be seamlessly integrated into daily life through simple yet meaningful actions. Holding the door for a stranger, listening attentively to a friend, or volunteering your time for a cause you believe in may seem minor, yet these gestures carry immense power. Such actions shift your mindset from scarcity, focusing on what you lack, to abundance, appreciating what you have to give. This perspective not only improves your interactions with others, but also enhances your sense of gratitude and fulfillment. By giving freely, you cultivate an internal state of abundance and joy, aligning yourself with the Stoic view that the good life is rooted in virtue and contribution. Moreover, selflessness strengthens relationships by fostering empathy and understanding. When you approach others with patience and compassion, especially during their moments of struggle, you create deeper connections and mutual respect. For instance, if a coworker lashes out under stress, Choosing to respond with empathy rather than criticism can transform the dynamic, fostering collaboration and trust. As Epictetus suggested, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. This advice underscores the power of active listening and compassion in building stronger, more harmonious relationships. Selflessness reflects the Stoic belief in contributing to the greater good. It reminds us that we are all interconnected and that our actions, no matter how small, ripple outward, influencing the world around us. By focusing on kindness and generosity, you align with the Stoic ideal of living in harmony with nature and society. This practice not only enhances your personal peace of mind, but also contributes to the collective well-being of those around you. In the end, by finding joy in selflessness, you transcend anger and frustration, creating a life filled with meaning, connection, and enduring inner freedom. Number 8. Value your time. Value your time. It is the most precious resource you have, yet it's so often squandered on things that neither enrich your life nor align with your deeper purpose. The Stoics understood this profoundly, emphasizing that how we choose to spend our time shapes the quality of our lives. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You could be good today, but instead, you choose to waste your time. What is it that stops you from being good? Is it fear or laziness?" It's a sobering reminder that time once lost can never be regained. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself how many of your daily actions are driven by habit or distraction rather than intention? Whether it's fretting over minor inconveniences like waiting in line, or spending hours mindlessly scrolling through social media, these moments add up. Stoicism challenges you to become intentional about your time, directing it toward what truly matters, and discarding the trivialities that pull you away from your goals and values. This is one of the most transformative Stoic secrets, to recognize that guarding your time is guarding your life. Imagine this scenario. You're at a family dinner, but instead of being fully present, you're mentally replaying an argument you had at work. You're losing not only the moment, but also the opportunity to connect with loved ones. Now, consider the wisdom of the Stoic approach. Disengage from conflicts that don't serve you, redirect your energy, and focus on what truly counts. It's about asking yourself, does this situation deserve my time and attention? Most of the time, the answer is no. The power to simply let go of what doesn't matter is a skill worth cultivating. Think of how often we exhaust ourselves trying to control things outside our reach. An unkind word, an uncooperative colleague, or a small annoyance in traffic. What if instead you chose to prioritize your peace of mind over these petty disturbances? How much time could you save for things that genuinely fulfill you? Let me share a modern story to bring this lesson to life. A successful entrepreneur once found himself overwhelmed by constant emails, trivial meetings, and endless distractions. His days felt like a blur of busyness without meaning. After reading Seneca's famous words, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it," he made a radical change. He began starting each day by identifying 3 things that aligned with his core goals: personal, professional, and relational, and focused his energy there. As he eliminated unnecessary obligations, he found himself not only more productive, but also more at peace. Could you benefit from a similar approach? Imagine identifying what truly matters in your life and letting go of everything else. What would your days look like? Valuing your time also means learning to say no. This is especially true when it comes to people or activities that drain your energy without adding value. It might mean setting boundaries with a friend who constantly complains or limiting how much time you spend on social media. These decisions aren't always easy, but they're necessary. By saying no to distractions, you're saying yes to your priorities, to personal growth, and to relationships that nourish you. Stoicism teaches us to measure our actions against our values. If something doesn't align with who you want to be or what you want to accomplish, why give it your time? Another profound aspect of this principle is reflecting on the impermanence of life. Our time is finite, and every day is a gift. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself of this truth, writing, "You could leave life right now." Let that determine what you do and say and think. It's not a morbid thought. It's a call to action. When you deeply understand that your time is limited, you stop wasting it on things that don't matter. You start making choices that reflect your highest self and your deepest values. How would your life change if you treated each moment as an opportunity to grow, to connect, and to contribute? Valuing your time empowers you to live with purpose. It's about recognizing that your time isn't just hours on a clock. It's the essence of your life. Each moment you waste is a moment you can't get back, but each moment you use wisely brings you closer to a life of meaning and fulfillment. The next time you feel tempted to dwell on an argument, engage in pointless drama, or lose yourself in distractions, ask yourself, is this the best use of my time? Does this contribute to my well-being or my goals? By reflecting on these questions and embracing the Stoic secrets of intentionality and presence, you can reclaim your time, avoid unnecessary stress, and create a life that truly matters. The choice is yours. How will you spend the most valuable resource you'll ever have? Number 9. Cultivate patience. Patience is not merely a virtue but a powerful tool central to the teachings of Stoicism and modern Stoicism alike. It equips us to endure life's challenges with composure, allowing us to navigate delays, setbacks, and difficult interactions without succumbing to frustration or anger. The Stoics viewed patience not as passive resignation, but as an active process of acceptance and adaptation. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, posed a reflective question: how much time you want to waste on these things that don't matter? Be patient, and you will be calm. This timeless advice reminds us that by fostering patience, we can channel our energy toward meaningful actions rather than unnecessary agitation. In today's fast-paced, instant gratification society, cultivating patience can feel like swimming against the current. From next-day deliveries to instant messaging, we are conditioned to expect immediate results, and the slightest delay can spark frustration. However, Stoicism teaches us that true peace arises not from controlling circumstances, but from accepting them. Patience helps us acknowledge that waiting and enduring discomfort are integral aspects of life. It gives us the space to process our emotions, allowing us to make decisions rooted in reason rather than reaction. For instance, when stuck in traffic or waiting in a long line, the temptation to grow impatient is strong, but such irritation only compounds the discomfort. Instead, Stoics encourage us to use these moments constructively, focusing on our breathing, reflecting on the day, or practicing gratitude. As Seneca observed, the greatest obstacle to living is expectancy, which depends on tomorrow and wastes today. Patience is equally vital in managing relationships, where rushing to judgment or demanding immediate change from others often leads to unnecessary tension. By exercising patience, we allow others the time and space to grow, while also granting ourselves the clarity to process our emotions and avoid impulsive reactions. For example, if a loved one exhibits a behavior that bothers you, it's tempting to confront them immediately. However, pausing to reflect often leads to a more measured, compassionate response, fostering better communication and deeper understanding. This principle applies broadly to interpersonal dynamics, from family disputes to workplace interactions, underscoring that patience is a cornerstone of harmony and conflict resolution. Developing patience requires deliberate practice, and one effective strategy is learning to delay your response. When faced with an upsetting comment or an irritating situation, pause before reacting. This brief moment of reflection allows your emotions to settle, enabling you to respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. Over time, this practice strengthens your ability to remain calm in the face of provocation, empowering you to choose actions that align with your values. As Epictetus aptly put it, "No great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig." If you tell me you desire a fig, I answer you that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen. Patience also reminds us of the insignificance of many of the irritations we face. A delayed flight, a rude remark, or an unexpected setback may feel like substantial inconveniences, but viewed through the lens of Stoicism, they are minor disturbances in the grand scheme of life. By cultivating a broader perspective, you free yourself from the grip of momentary frustrations. This ability to see beyond the immediate allows you to conserve your energy for what truly matters, fostering resilience and mental clarity in the process. Patience is about moving through life with a calm, steady presence. It liberates you from the emotional turbulence of irritation and enables you to approach challenges with grace and wisdom. In embracing patience, you create space for greater peace within yourself and foster deeper connections with those around you. It is not about giving in to life's difficulties, but about rising above them with a clear and composed mind. Modern Stoicism highlights the transformative power of this practice, showing us that by choosing patience, we not only navigate life's complexities more effectively, but also inspire others to do the same. Through patience, you become a living example of strength and tranquility, embodying the Stoic ideal of a resilient and balanced soul. What's one act of selflessness you've done recently? Was it helping a colleague, forgiving someone, or sharing kind words with a stranger? Share your choice in the comments below, and make sure to watch until the end. Our final 2 lessons are packed with surprising insights that could completely shift how you see your life and time. Don't miss out. Number 10. Adopt a wider perspective. Adopting a wider perspective is one of the most effective ways to overcome anger and frustration, a lesson deeply embedded in Stoic philosophy. When we hyper-focus on a specific problem or annoyance, it can feel insurmountable, but stepping back helps us recognize its true scale and often reveals it to be far less significant than it initially seemed. Marcus Aurelius captured this wisdom in Meditations. Think of the life of your ancestors and how all things pass away in a short time. This insight reminds us that most struggles are temporary and that our personal difficulties are mere moments in the vast, ongoing flow of life. Modern Stoicism encourages us to embrace this perspective, especially in today's fast-paced world, where minor setbacks can easily spiral into overwhelming stress if left unchecked. When challenges arise, it is natural to be swept up by immediate emotions like anger, frustration, or disappointment. For instance, criticism from a colleague or an unexpected delay might initially feel personal or unfair. However, adopting a broader perspective enables you to pause and see these events for what they are, temporary disruptions rather than life-defining moments. By zooming out, you can recognize that such instances are fleeting in the context of your entire life, allowing you to respond with calm and reason rather than reacting emotionally. Seneca's timeless advice, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality," underscores how much of our distress stems from how we perceive a situation rather than the situation itself. By reframing these moments with a wider lens, you gain clarity and avoid unnecessary turmoil. This perspective is particularly valuable in interpersonal conflicts, where emotions often run high. Take, for example, a disagreement with a colleague. In the heat of the moment, it might feel deeply personal or irreparably damaging, but when you consider the bigger picture, your overall relationship with this person, the pressures they might be facing, and how small this conflict is in the grand scheme of your career, you begin to see the situation differently. This shift in perspective not only reduces your emotional distress, but also fosters empathy, as you realize that others are often acting out of their own struggles rather than malice. As Epictetus said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." By responding with understanding rather than anger, you can preserve relationships and maintain your peace of mind. A wider perspective also helps combat the dissatisfaction that arises from comparing yourself to others, a habit that often leads to frustration and self-doubt. In our modern world of social media and constant connectivity, it's easy to measure your success against someone else's achievements, creating feelings of inadequacy or envy. However, Stoicism teaches that everyone follows their own unique path, shaped by their circumstances, opportunities, and challenges. Comparing yourself to others is not only unproductive, but also detracts from your ability to appreciate your own journey. Marcus Aurelius reminds us of the futility of comparison in Meditations. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. By focusing on your progress and accepting where you are, you cultivate gratitude for your life as it is, free from the weight of external comparisons. Cultivating a broader perspective also transforms how you approach daily frustrations, helping you find gratitude and acceptance in the moment. A delayed flight, for example, might initially provoke irritation, but stepping back allows you to see it as an opportunity, perhaps to catch up on reading, connect with a loved one, or simply practice patience. Similarly, a project setback at work can feel catastrophic in the moment, but a wider perspective reveals it as part of a much larger journey of growth and improvement. By consciously choosing to view these events within a greater context, you free yourself from the trap of immediate desires and frustrations, allowing you to respond with a sense of calm and purpose. Adopting a wider perspective aligns with the Stoic goal of living in harmony with nature and understanding our place in the larger scheme of things. This practice not only reduces stress and anger, but also fosters a profound sense of gratitude for life as it unfolds. It reminds us that our struggles, no matter how significant they feel, are often just small chapters in the broader narrative of our lives. By stepping back, you gain the clarity to navigate challenges with grace and the wisdom to find peace in even the most difficult moments. Modern Stoicism encourages us to use this principle as a tool for living a more grounded, contented life, one where anger and frustration have no lasting hold on us, and serenity becomes our natural state. Number 11. Find peace in nature. Find peace in nature. The Stoics deeply understood the power of the natural world to restore our inner balance, calm our minds, and remind us of the vast, interconnected beauty of life. Marcus Aurelius in his Meditations often urged himself to look to the heavens, look to nature, as a way to ground his perspective and reconnect with the grand rhythm of existence. Nature has a unique ability to strip away the chaos of daily life, offering clarity and peace in its simplicity. Think of the quiet serenity of a forest trail, the rhythmic crashing of ocean waves, or the awe-inspiring vastness of a starry night sky. These experiences are more than just beautiful. They are humbling reminders of life's impermanence and the constancy of change. Flowers bloom and fade, storms come and go, and the seasons turn without resistance. These cycles teach us patience and acceptance, showing us that our struggles too will pass as part of life's greater flow. This is one of the most practical Stoic secrets for staying unbothered, learning to draw strength from nature's timeless wisdom. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the noise of responsibilities, technology, and endless demands. But have you ever noticed how a simple walk in the park can leave you feeling lighter? There's something almost magical about stepping away from screens, schedules, and stress to immerse yourself in nature. Science backs this up. Studies show that spending time outdoors reduces stress, lifts your mood, and even enhances cognitive function. Yet the Stoics understood this long before researchers confirmed it. To them, nature was a teacher, offering lessons in resilience, patience, and interconnectedness. For example, consider a tree that weathers a storm. Its branches may sway and bend, but it doesn't resist the wind. It adapts, rooted firmly in the ground. How often do we fight against life's storms, resisting what we cannot control, instead of bending gracefully and standing strong in our own roots? A modern story perfectly illustrates this. A young professional, stressed by the pressures of an ambitious career, began hiking on weekends to escape the grind. At first, it felt like a chore, just another thing to schedule. But one day, as she sat quietly on a mountain ledge watching the sunrise, she felt a profound sense of calm. The endless emails, office politics, and minor frustrations suddenly seemed insignificant in the face of the vast landscape before her. That moment became her sanctuary, a place she would return to whenever life felt overwhelming. How often do you give yourself permission to step away, breathe deeply, and simply exist within the stillness of nature? Engaging with nature isn't about grand adventures, it's about presence. Even small moments like pausing to admire a blooming flower or listening to birdsong can anchor you in the present and remind you of life's simple joys. These experiences offer perspective, showing us that our anxieties are fleeting and that beauty surrounds us, even in our most challenging times. When we take the time to immerse ourselves in nature, we gain clarity about our priorities and our place in the world. Are we spending too much energy on things that don't matter? Are we missing the bigger picture? The Stoics believed that peace comes from aligning ourselves with the natural order of the world, and nature provides the perfect setting for this alignment. It offers space to reflect, to be still, and to connect with something greater than ourselves. When life feels overwhelming, a return to nature can reset your mind and spirit. It's a chance to recharge, recalibrate, and return to daily life with a renewed sense of calm and purpose. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that everything is interconnected. By stepping into nature, we see this truth in action, how the rivers carve their paths, how the sun rises without fail, and how each element works together in harmony. How might your own life improve if you embrace this sense of connection and harmony? Making time for nature is making time for yourself. It's a way to care for your mental and emotional well-being, to find peace amidst life's chaos, and to cultivate gratitude for the beauty of the world around you. Whether you spend an afternoon hiking, sit quietly by a lake, or simply watch the clouds drift by, these moments in nature remind you of life's simplicity and resilience. They teach you to let go of what doesn't matter and focus on what does. So the next time you feel weighed down by stress, step outside, take a deep breath, and let the wisdom of nature guide you back to peace. After all, the greatest Stoic secrets often lie in the simplest places. How will you create space to experience the serenity that nature has to offer? Thanks for watching Stoic in Your Life. The 11 principles we've explored, like embracing willingness, focusing on the present, and adopting a broader perspective, aren't just philosophical ideas. They're powerful tools for transforming your everyday life, helping you cultivate inner peace and emotional resilience. Which of these principles resonates best with you? Let us know in the comments below. Start by implementing just one principle today, whether it's practicing patience in traffic or letting go of what you can't control, and notice the difference it makes. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and family to spread the wisdom of Stoicism and bring more peace to the world. Together, let's embark on this journey toward a calmer, happier life. Subscribe for more details, and I'll see you in the next video.